Hello, everybody. My name is Rita Bord, and we are here at Sungates Center. And my guest today is amazing Gladys, who is a yoga teacher, certified Kundalini in Hatha Yoga, and also facilitator for Chkradance. Besides being amazing woman, very good personality, and just a beautiful, beautiful person. And today she's going to share her amazing story, just a heart-taking story about how she was born and how her soul wanted to be here on earth and become strong and become, as she said, spiritual warrior.
Yeah, that's my goal.
Right. So, hi Gladys, it's good to see you. Good to
Thank you for having me here today in Sungates with you. Thank you.
Super. So could you start from just very beginning, from the first days of your birth, or even before that,
Yeah,
right?
conceptions, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, my mom and dad are from Italy, and they had a very painful, let's say, after the war, story. And my dad was a technician for pasta, and somebody in Venezuela, an industry of pasta, called him to teach them how to create pasta. So he arrived at 1949, and 3 years later, my mom was in Venezuela. He really fell in love with this country that has nothing, just nothing. So he felt that there were so many possibilities to grow. So my sister and my mom arrived in 1952, and I arrived in 1958 in a very special circumstances. Um, the old doctor said that my mom couldn't have any more babies.
After your sister was born.
After my sister was born, yes. She had a normal abortion. After 4 years, my sister were born. And after that, my mom really believed that she couldn't have any more babies. So she got pregnant in 1958, no, 1956, 67, sorry. So, and my mom didn't know, but she was feeling weird. So the first month, and she said, "Oh my God, what is this?" But she realized that she was pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
So she was so worried about that, because in that moment they were having a very bad financial situation, and my mom was working with my dad to start all over again,
To build the business.
to build the business
In Venezuela.
in Venezuela.
Yeah, okay.
Yes. And my mom, she just couldn't have that baby, and she was really worried and went to the doctor, and the doctor, yes, you are pregnant, and yes, but I want to do an abortion. No, we cannot do an abortion.
It was not legal in
Not
Venezuela.
illegal in that moment. So my mom found, like everywhere, places where she can be
She have an abortion.
an abortion. So she tried, and she tried twice, and she tried 3 times. But this baby that is here said, "You know what? I'm not going to die."
Right.
So my mom continued to work and to work with all this pregnancy. She was a designer for dresses, a very good one for the whole city. She was a very famous one, and she used to do 80 dresses a week. 80,
Wow.
80,
80.
with my auntie. Okay, both of them were working, and I was in her
Belly.
in her belly,
Yeah, in vagina,
while she
yeah.
was, all the time, working so,
really hard.
so
Yeah.
hard.
Mhm.
So this working, the tide, I was tied for 3 times the cord,
Okay.
in my neck. So I was born.
So you, no matter what, you were born.
Yeah, I was born, but what happens in that moment when I was born, the baby didn't have any oxygen, was no pulse, and no reaction at all of life. So my mom, after having all this situation, 9 months with me, she was really, really sad. And my dad and my grandmother and all my family were there, taking care of this little baby, but has no reaction. So I was, like wrapped in a little sheet, and put it in a box. And my grandmother took me outside in the patio to be buried. So the baby was outside, dead. Dead.
Yeah, everybody saw that the baby is dead.
Is dead. And I don't know how much time, but were like some minutes, because I can believe that a baby can be hours outside without being taken care. But my grandmother told me, because I had the opportunity to listen the story when I was an adult, as my mom talked to me this so many times since I was a little kid, teenager, and all my life talking about my birth. You are a miracle, you're a miracle, you're a miracle. Yes, but I was so young and that I didn't pay any attention to that. But my patterns in life and what happening in my experiences of life had so much to do with this birth.
So let's go back for a second. Your grandmother saw that you were moving your lips.
Yeah, so but that was in some moment afterwards. She said, I'm going to say goodbye to the baby. And when she went outside, the baby moved the lips. And she started screaming everyone, she's alive, she's alive, she's alive. And this woman that, bring me here to
she brought you back to the house.
To the house, and they start, kicking me. I saw my birth that moment in rebirthing, when I did rebirthing like 20 years ago. I did that and was really, really amazing and scary. No sign of life. I could feel that. No breath. And they were kicking me all the time. So all this abuse in some way, my mom wanted me to have an abortion. I felt so guilt to come in some way in that moment that she couldn't have me. So all these beliefs really took me to go very, very deep inside and learn how to heal that birth. So I did 2 trainings of rebirthing, one in Connecticut and one in Venezuela, with the best teacher in the world. So I really wanted to know and heal. And after that, I continued to learn so much more about me and heal, and more healing, because that birth that was in such a way brought patterns in my life. Patterns that were painful and difficult for me to deal with life, right? So this is why me, in some way, have I started like at 30 years old, and now I'm almost 60. I really gave my life to really know who we are, who I am, why am I here?
Right. That's a good question. Why am I here? Because nobody wanted you, right?
My mom couldn't have me in that moment. She tried to abort me. And why, I was dead and then I came back to life. And why am I here? So that's why my question. And even if I felt that guilt inside, and I wanted to know more and more. So I had the gift, so many gifts, but this was one of the most beautiful gifts, is to have great teachers in my life. I think
basically you were lucky to have those teachers.
Oh my God, such good teachers and path. Avatar is a amazing path, amazing because they really go deep to consciousness, very, very deep. So I could know how consciousness work. And in that moment, I start to really grow and know who I am, why I am here, and my purpose in life.
Great, super. I know you were grown up in Italian family.
Yeah, Italian family, completely.
And as you told me, your mother was very strong,
Very
very
Oh yes,
professional woman. So
Super.
how did affect the life of your mother and father affected you?
yeah, a lot because my dad was a beautiful artist man, very, very right side of the brain. Okay, very artist, very simple, very, beautiful man, looks to.
I can imagine the
Yeah.
beautiful Italian man.
Yeah,
we
he
all
was
love.
a chef, amazing
Yeah.
chef. Oh my God, my dad. Well, I was born in restaurants, and they cook our food industry all my life. Restaurants, hotels, and pastisserie all my life. So my dad was really, really good at that. So my dad was totally different from my mom. My mom was the real businesswoman, so strong, so ambitious. So they were so different that I was so confused myself. Who is right or who is wrong? So what I wanted when I was working myself is to have the best of each of them.
Right.
So I am both in some way. I have the strength of my mom. She was a very strong woman, and the artist of my dad because
The creativity of
Oh
your
yes,
father.
of my dad. My dad was, amazing man, amazing, and so simplicity was his word. So I learned my mom was nothing simple at all. My mom was so, like an artist, but, from Hollywood, something like that. And my dad, always quiet and so beautiful, so beautiful. He used to sing so beautiful and play the mandolin. So he was like a poet. Very nice.
That's very beautiful. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
Also, it was a moment in your life when you had to move from Venezuela, a very sad moment.
Oh
What
my God.
happened then?
Well, in 1999, arrived a man called Chavez. Maybe everyone knows Chavez. Everyone knows Chavez. And what happened in Venezuela. And I couldn't believe really that that was going to be the way it was or the way it is right now. So we lost our country in politicians. Well, this is dictators, communism. You know a lot about that.
Yeah. Just what happened with your family?
Well, my family, my mom and dad, they died very young. I was really young. My mom was, both of them were 66 years old, but my mom was 10 years older than my dad. So she died 10 years older.
Your mom were older than your dad?
No, my dad was 10 years older.
Okay.
Yeah. And they work so hard all their life, so hard, Rita, that I cannot have words beyond words. So they really got so much stress because they were 3 pastisserie, 108 employees, and my mom, that was a family work. So my mom was the, how you say, the pillar.
Yeah.
And my dad was, there with her, working, supporting her, and was really, really, really hard. So they died, and I was only 34 years old when my mom died, and 24 when my dad left, passed away. So
you had to take a business
to
on
take
your
that
shoulders.
business on my shoulder when I never worked before in my life because I was with Like I'm at home with my kids, taking them to school, and my life as a wife. Yeah. And when they died, both of them, taking all this responsibility for me was a moment to take another level of growth, but with a lot of pain, because I didn't have any tools in that moment. Very, very little tools, like meditations, but very, very superficial, right? So I had a very broke nervous system in that moment. Really, I became very, very weak, and I had to deal with acupuncture. In that moment, I start to learn about acupuncture and so many others ways, holistic.
Yeah,
ways.
there just happened that when we have their own problems, either with health or other situation, we start to open up new things for ourselves.
Yeah.
It's where you start your own path to the spirituality, right?
Yeah, and I have so good friends that tell me, no, do this or do that. Always the people that are like angels, telling you to go someplace. So I start doing all these holistic ways, and I start to do yoga. And yoga was for me like, oh, it's so boring, because I've been dancing so many years, and I love to dance and move my body. And
Yeah, I just want to pay attention to how Gladys' body is moving all the time, and I really love that, because it's all in your expressions.
It's my
it's your life.
I love to dance, and really I feel the life. When we dance, it's amazing. Movement is life. That's why I will tell later about Chkradance, what happens now in my life. But before that, in 2012, I have a really bad moment when I realized that I am losing everything. I am losing everything here in this country, and it was so painful for me, because 2 years later, 2014, I realized there is nothing else to do, no incomes at all. And for me, it was really, really hard, because after 24 years of having my independency, having a beautiful life and wealthy life in Venezuela, middle class is really good class. I have my boat, I have so many beautiful life, and I lost everything, Rita, everything. And as a human being, even if I had all the tools, because for that moment, the universe really gave me all the tools to keep going my path, I was really scared. I became sick with a lot of migraines. I was confused, full of doubts, and now what I'm going to do. That's in 2012. In 2013, one day like today is my anniversary. It's so beautiful, because today I have the date with my husband in Orlando, because both of us belongs to this beautiful path called Avatar. Imagine, in that day was amazing. That was 2013. September 14th, like today, we had beautiful dinner together, and then the rest is story, because we got married. I am here. But the thing that those 2 years for me, 13, 14, even 15, I was like lost, without ground. I was born in that amazing country, because it's amazing. Venezuela is beautiful. It's something amazing. It's a tropical weather, jungle. We have everything there, the Caribbean Sea, everything. So for me to lose that was more than sad, was really painful. Okay? So I start to say, okay, I need to rebirth again. That was a death. And that was the pattern I was telling you at the beginning, that even if I was aware that to live I have to die or to lose something, because it's a pattern that I was born in. That's the belief that I have. In order to live, I have to die first. And that's what happens.
You almost died second time.
Yeah, I was so sick and very, very thin, and doubt and pain and so many things in my head, in my mind, how I'm going to live now.
How are you going to survive?
To survive all this loss. No mom, no dad, no family, no business, no money.
Oh my
right?
God.
My
Yeah,
son
in
Ireland, my daughter in Miami. I was only with my husband. And I am so grateful to find my husband in life, because he was the angel to come and really support me in all ways. And support me to be here today with you, because when he saw one of my class and was in my class, in one class that I gave in some other place, he said, "What are you doing at home? You need to go out and contribute with people, because you are really, really good."
Yes, you are.
You are so good. So you need to go out. And he was very strong on that. You need to go out. And I was so scared. This is another system, totally different from Venezuela. And another language. Okay? I have to speak in English. I have to give my class in English. No, I was so much, in resistance mode.
Right.
You see?
Yeah.
So happens something, maybe deep meditation. I have others, great teachers that have helped me so much to go deep in meditation and work in myself. Like visualizing myself. This is one of the things that I do in my own classes, to help people to visualize themselves and put the emotion, how you want to be, how you want to be in that future. And I did that day by day, from 4 o'clock in the morning to 5. Day by day. Today I still do it because it's amazing for me. And amazing for anybody who really wants to create a good future, to really work in themselves, work in myself. And then I do my class, my own class. I love Kundalini Yoga. I had my training in 2010, yes. And for 1.5 years, I had to travel from Venezuela or from Europe, wherever I was, to be here once a month for 4 days for my training in Memphis. Okay, so that was for me, yes, a lot of effort, but I had,
you knew that you needed it. That was your practice.
I didn't know what was going to happen in that way, because I took my savings to do that.
Okay.
Right. And I took my savings to study, to bring, all this knowledge about Kundalini Yoga. Is the yoga of the awareness. I've been doing Hatha Yoga for 30 years, but what I have received with Kundalini Yoga, with that breath of fire and all this chanting and all these mantras that they have, I really, wow, awake my consciousness in such a way that's why I'm here today.
Well, I think you're just living proof that everything is possible.
Everything is possible, my dear friends. If I am here today with you, you can be anywhere.
Right. To be almost that couple times and be strong and be here and teach other people to be as strong. It's just an amazing gift.
And have fun. Yeah. For me, I was so serious in the moment that I lost everything. I was crying, I was sick, I was everything so negative for so many months. And I decide in some moment during my meditation to live again, to laugh again, to love again, to really restart and reinventing myself. And this is totally new. This is a new career because I was a businesswoman. I learned how to really manage 108 employees. That is
wow,
a
that
lot.
made you strong.
Very strong woman. You know, I remember my mom, how she did it. And, you know, she was my referential all the time.
Mhm.
And my dad, you know, the stillness of my dad.
Mhm.
So I had the yoga for my dad. I had the power of my mom.
Wow, that's amazing. I
Amazing.
have my entire body is shaking,
Yeah,
just
it's
just the
beautiful.
feeling the
Yeah,
energy.
I am goosebumps myself.
Tell us more about the Chkradance.
Yes, Chkradance was, you know, I thank my husband for that because Chkradance was in all the media,
Mhm.
you know, Facebook and Instagram, everywhere. So I read Chkradance. Oh, I like this, you know, because I really would like to go deeper in knowledge because all the time for me, before I can teach, I want to really go deep by myself with the trainings and learn and do it by myself, the path. So I can really integrate the tools so I can teach in another, in the right way, right? And from my own experience. How are you going to teach something if you don't really feel it, right? This is for me so important.
It's fake. It's not real.
Yeah, it's not real. It's just mine, right? So my husband said, look at this path, Chkradance. Yeah, I saw it, and it's very interesting that, another training in my life, I did Hatha yoga in Costa Rica, and then 1 year and a half in Memphis with training with yoga, Kundalini yoga. And then I did tapping. I love EFT. For me, it's amazing. I do it every single day, any moment of my day. So I can give, I give a lot of tapping in my own classes. I love that. And then Chkradance. And Chkradance was amazing because while I was doing Chkradance, I had like another miracle. I had a hysterectomy in my second chakra. They took ovaries and everything. So I was quite really deaf in that area, even if I was taking hormones since I had the surgery. So when I was working the second chakra, for me was like, wow,
Rebirth again
of this energy, even if I didn't have ovaries and anything there, all the water, everything was gone. The energy of the chakra start to flow. The blockage that I have because of the surgery, because they cut all that energy, right?
Right, yeah. Any surgery is just taking, there is a block where they cut it. Yeah,
yes,
exactly.
And look what happens, Rita. This is amazing because the second one happens right now, me teaching in Unity. Look what happened. This was happens in 2014, right? When I did the training for Chkradance. And when I start feeling again life in my second chakra, I say, oh my God, what is this? I was really scared because I had the surgery in 2005, right? So this works. I said, this works. So I surrendered to the path. And I did that for 6 months. And then I stopped. I continued doing Chkradance for myself anytime that I needed, And now I have another thing that happens while I was teaching in Unity. The throat chakra, I had surgery in the the fourth and the fifth vertebra of my cervical spine, and a lot of tension, a lot of pain. And when I arrive to the heart, I did my beautiful lower chakras that belongs to earth. But when goes up to the bridge that is the heart, something happened there. And then when I came here to the throat, that I had another surgery, and this was really blocked in some way. because I had so much pain all the
Yes,
time in my shoulders, you know, stiffness. So something like another miracle came to know more about Ayurveda and know more about the doshas that I never paid so much attention. I knew about them, but
So every step, something new is open up for you.
Open.
Yeah.
And now I am feeling so good in my throat. I can speak. I can chant. I have my beautiful voice to communicate.
So beside being a good dancer, you're a good singer also.
Yes,
right?
I love to sing. Yes, I love to
Beautiful,
sing.
absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
So just wanna say to our listeners that anybody can do anything if they really want to be here, be alive, and working on yourself is amazing gift.
Yeah, you know,
Nobody can.
I faced death at the beginnings, and I faced death in so many ways in my life. You know, in order to live, like my divorce that I had was really painful. You know, was a loss. You know, and then start all over again. And this is the thing that I want to tell everybody, that anything that happens, if you have a disease, if you have any concern in life, diseases, lost, um, financial situations that are really a burden in our life. All these are, you know, boulders, but boulders are part of our life. And the beauty of life is to have the strength, the willingness to say, I can do it. I can do it and go through it. The rivers of life sometimes are very still and beautiful, and sometimes they are really fast. And you need to be there to swim those rivers like a salmon upstream.
Beautiful,
You see?
beautiful. Absolutely amazing words. Thank you very much for being here, for telling us the story, and we want to invite everybody to participate in the Chkradance that Gladys will facilitate starting in October, end of October. And more information, we'll post more information.
Thank you so
for
much.
everyone.
Thank you so much.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Namaste.